Welcome to Comicstorian. Today, Damien's gonna fight in a Mortal Kombat style tournament. At this channel, we break down your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues, tearing out a lot of the extra fluff, getting rid of the B plots, and telling you the core plot as to what is going on in your favorite comic books. The purpose of this is to give you the bare bones so that you know what happens in the books and can go buy the next issues if you want to, or just add these to your collection, getting more context and more artwork. Today, we're going to be covering Robin issues 6 through 9. To catch up where we are, Damien has quit being Robin after he accidentally got Alfred Pennyworth killed, and the death of Alfred Pennyworth has been haunting him this entire time. He went back to Gotham, met up with his entire Batfamily between rounds in the tournament, but now he's back at the Lazarus Island for the Mortal Kombat style tournament. It's time for the final rounds to happen for us to find out what this Mortal Kombat style island is for. And today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Honey. Today's episode is sponsored by Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. I personally love shopping online and I do it all the time. But like many, I never have the proper coupon or codes ready when at checkout. Thanks to Honey, I don't need to. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and coupons and applies the best ones to the cart. It's literally just a button click away from savings. All you have to do is click Apply Coupons when the Honey button appears at checkout. Seriously, it doesn't get any easier to save money than this. I just saved $5 on some new smart light bulbs for my basement. Honey doesn't just work on your desktop, it also works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. If you don't have Honey yet, you're missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid in supporting this show. A win-win. I would never recommend something I don't use. So get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/complete. That's joinhoney.com/complete. Now let's get into Robin, issue 6. After the reunion in Gotham with his brothers and sisters of the Batfamily, Damien is called back to Lazarus Island to begin the death tournament set up by the League of Lazarus and its leader, Mother Soul. Round 1 was Damien versus Blue Shrike. But while Blue Shrike speaks about how Nightwing embarrassed his brother and how he is fighting for his brother's honor, Damien shrugs it off, telling him, "Whatever, shut up and fight." Each section of the arena is broken up and each pair begins their fights to the death. But while everyone is working through their first fights, Damien has already defeated Blue Shrike and is working on his second individual. His next opponent is Tengu, who's already eyeing to kill Damien after taking his sword. But after the first fight, the second is over just as quickly as Tengu charges at Damien and Damien kicks the sword from Tengu's hand. The sword flips backwards, driving itself into Tengu's neck. But before Damien can even wipe the blood off of his face, Mother Soul tells him that he must be patient. The other fighters are still in their first battles, while he has completed rounds 1 and 2. He should be taking his time and enjoying the carnage. Everyone else is. Damien walks off, telling her that she may think that she can play him, but he knows something is up with her, and her book. But with nothing else going on now that he's defeated his first 2, he sits back to watch the remaining fights before moving on to his third, and he sees Flatline. She does her signature heart rip-out move, the one that killed Damien on his introduction fight to the island. And he scoffs, commenting that it's her only move, but then again, he fell for it as well. After their match, Flatline sits beside Damien, asking if he's been sitting here for a while. He missed some pretty good fights. Drenched electrocuted Drakon. XXL stomped out Raptor. Ravager choked out that pro wrestler with his own fanny pack. Johnny Fist tried to take on Hawk, but well, it didn't work out. Flatline then points over to Respawn and Jiro, asking what does he think about those two. Damien says that if he were Jiro, he would take those knives from Respawn and gut him with them. Flatline tells him no, her plan would be to let him keep his toy. His knives are a crutch, he uses them to fight from a distance, which means he's not confident on his inside game. Damien laughs, "You're right." Flatline reaches into her jacket, pulling out a small book, telling him, "Oh yeah, and this is for you." He takes the book, looking at it, asking how did she... But Flatline tells him that XXL tried to steal it when he disappeared. It's a nice little romance about art school, but also about being competitive. Lord Deathman is super weird about manga and wouldn't let her read any. Lord Deathman can be a strict instructor, but he's gotten better recently, less crazed. Sometimes it's like she's the one training him. Damien hears Alfred whisper that he likes this one, and Damien shrugs it off, stating that he needs to heal up a bit before his next match. Flatline tags along, but Ravager and Hawk also follow him, asking if they're done with their makeout session under the bleachers yet. They would like to compare notes about what Mother Soul and this tournament are all about. Damien yells, why should he be helping her? She ratted him out to the others and brought the guy who tried to kill him. Flatline separates everyone. Whoa. There's a lot going on here right now. Like a running theme, yeah? Just then Hawk grabs Damien, pulling him down as the sickle comes crashing through, nearly stabbing him in the back. Respawn walks in. Well. Are we all making friends now? Maybe flirting? Damien asks what does he want, and Respawn asks him, do any of you think you have a shot at winning? All of you are gonna stop when you die twice, afraid of that third death. Not me though. Each of you act as if you have some reason to be here, eternal life or something to prove, but the truth is the four of you are not avatars of death. You are life's rejects. Mother Soul announces round 3 is about to begin, and Damien finds himself against none other than Respawn. Everyone fights side by side, with Damien jumping away to gain some ground, but Respawn throws his sickle, throwing Damien up into the stands beside Mother Soul. He quickly runs off, with Respawn following him, telling him, I've fought enough battles to know when someone's letting me win, but why? Off in the distance, away from Respawn, Damien reads through the Book of Lazarus that Mother Soul had next to her, asking what is she planning? What's hidden in the Lazarus pits beneath this island? Wait, this would mean that Mother Soul is... But before he could utter the words, Respawn's sickle comes flying towards his back. There's a sudden pain as Damien shouts when Respawn's sickle lands in his shoulder and Damien is ripped back. Respawn collects the chain to his sickle as he walks up telling him, this is why you lose. Damien grabs a hold of the chain, pulling, causing Respawn to fall forward, and then he delivers a swift kick to the chin with a loud crack. He gets back up telling him, Flatline was right. Your chain is your crutch. Respawn charges forward yelling, you'll pay for what you've done. But Damien catches him telling him, I don't even know you. But you know what? Let's correct that. He reaches down, beginning to peel back Respawn's mask, and he sees a scar on his chin and white hair, before Respawn pulls the mask down, yelling, no! No one can see my face! Not until... But as Respawn turns away, Damien kicks him over the ridge, telling him, you should have worn a domino mask, rookie! Seconds later, there's a loud splat along the rocks below, when a voice tells him that was quite an interesting plot. Mother Soul walks out of the woods. You did all of that to trick Respawn into throwing you at me so that you could steal the Book of Lazarus. But if you want to be the crowned champion, you must return to the arena. Please, I've had the book long enough to know what this island really is, and the truth of why you brought all of us fighters here, and why you began this little death tournament. The Lazarus pits leaked into the very foundation of this island itself, infecting it, and now it feeds off the fights. It needs the violence, but it's not enough. It wants deaths. It's powering the island. And that isn't all of it, isn't it? I know who you really are. The history of the Lazarus League and the history of you. I didn't read it all, but I saw enough. Your name is Ra Al Ghul, soul of the demon. You're Ra's al Ghul's mother. But you died long before Ra's discovered the Lazarus pits. Mother Soul looks down at her great-great-grandson. Our family has a history of not staying dead, young demon. You're right. The island needs more death. And Damien asks what happens to the winner then. Was that a lie? She tells him that the promise of eternal life is true. For what though? To be your servant of Armageddon? I won't let it happen. I'll stop it before. Damien hurries off to the arena where Black Swan, XXL, and Drenched have all died their second time and are leaving. Ravager's trying to catch her breath as she says, Junior Bird, Black Swan put up quite a fight. Damien tells her that they don't have time for this. They need to get off of the island, but Ravager walks past him. Not a chance. Not until I learn the truth about who Respawn is. But before she could leave, Hawk lunges in, plunging Ravager in the back, shouting, the tournament must end, and will only once a victor is crowned. Damien gets ready to stop the two from fighting, but that's when Flatline walks in, stating that since the two of them have already paired up. May I have this dance, Damien? Respawn bursts in, shouting that he wants his rematch, but Mother Soul stops him, stating he must wait his turn. Damien tells Flatline that she doesn't want this fight, and Flatline laughs, asking, did you already forget that I killed you last time, Damien? Flatline jumps in swinging, but Damien dodges each hit, stating, I can win the whole tournament! You need to stop! She manages to get a hit in, asking what makes him so special. If he's really as good as he says, he'll respect her and not hold back and beat her. Damien wipes the blood from his nose. Fine. and he begins to punch back. Flatline catches a swing, breaking Damien's arm, stating that she'll thank Respawn for warming him up. And she's sorry about this. She pulls her arm back, getting ready to rip his heart out a second time. But that's when he grabs her wrist, stopping her. "I'll hang on to my heart this time. Thanks." And he throws her back into a stone wall. He sees Flatline not moving as he walks up, and he asks her if she's bleeding. She grabs the stone spike in her stomach, telling him, "Just a scratch, come on. You know this isn't my first time." And with that, she falls over dead. The ghost of Alfred Pennyworth places his hand on Damien's shoulder. And as Damien checks Flatline's pulse, Mother Soul tells him that she warned him not to make friends on the island, that it's dangerous. Damien coldly tells her that all of this killing is wrong. And Mother Soul tells him, "Wrong. I know. Isn't it funny that it's always the killers who learn that lesson?" Damien then feels her pulse, and he stands up, stating that he's going to put a stop to this tournament and her. Whatever she is creating will be ended, and then he will be coming for her. He laughs, telling him that he has much greater concerns at the moment, as there are now only 2 remaining. The last fight is beginning now. Mother Soul points over to where Ravager was fighting, and Damien sees Hawk standing over her, stating, "You should have stayed away. Last time I let you live, but now." And with that, it has finally come down to this, the final showdown of the Lazarus tournament. Robin versus Hawk, Damien versus Connor. The other contestants begin to gather and watch as the two stare each other down, neither making a single move. Then finally, they rush at each other, each swing missing its mark until they both land one at the same time. They push each other back, the crowd watching quietly, and then they slowly begin to clap. People are cheering for Damien and Hawk. Some for Damien, some for Hawk. Either way, they want someone to die. In a flash, Hawk manages to grab a hold of Damien, throwing him into the crowd. Flatline tells him that he better move if he wants to stay alive, and then using the crowd as leverage, Damien jumps high into the air, delivering a devastating kick to Hawk's head, launching him across the arena. Now the two of them begin to land their blows back and forth, and as Damien goes in to end it, Hawk is one step ahead of him, hitting him with an elbow in the eye. Damien reaches for his face. Am I not going to win? No, I will end this! Hawk kicks Damien in the stomach, following up with a bone-rattling punch to the face. Ravager calls out that the fight is over. This has to stop, but Damien tells her, "Stay out of this! I'm not finished yet!" Damien throws himself back into the battle, with Hawk telling him that they can end this, that it will only be his second to death. "You can stop, Damien! There's no need to continue this abuse!" Damien spits blood from his mouth. "I've been taking abuse my whole life. Why stop now? I failed someone who meant a lot to me, because I wasn't good enough. This island is my punishment. I'm here to find out if I'm really the monster that people keep telling me that I am. And I'll never stop until I know if the darkness that I feel inside is real." Damien continues to swing, with Hawk catching a punch, telling him, "If you won't stop, then it's time I ended the fight." And with a quick twist of his wrist, Hawk grabs a hold of Damien's head, and we hear a sudden crack as Damien's body falls lifeless to the ground. Mother Soul asks if anyone else wishes to challenge Hawk. They all have their third lives to use, but after witnessing Hawk's skills and his ability to kill Damien so easily, everyone turns it down. She then looks over at Master Dusk, telling him that he was right. Their champion is just what they needed. Dusk says that he would like to propose an alliance between the two leagues, the Lazarus and the Shadows united. Prove Ra's al Ghul was wrong to bury the truth about the demon. As the two shake hands, Hawk calls out asking if they can get this over with already, and Mother Soul tells him, "As you wish. Open the pit!" Suddenly there's a rumble that shakes the entire island to its core, as the arena begins to split open and a green light begins to shine through it. Some of the people begin to try and get off of the island, but Flatline looks down at the docks at their boats, stating that they're on fire. Just then, the League of Shadows begins to surround everyone, and Ravager asks what the hell is going on. The tournament is over. Mother Soul walks up telling everyone, "None of you will be leaving this island. Ever. The destiny of this tournament and this island is to feed the pit the deaths that it needed to be fully charged, to unleash the demon that sleeps inside. Once the demon possesses the world's mightiest fighter, the Avatar will be given the immortality that they promised. It would be best if you did not resist." There's another voice that yells out over the crowd, stating, "You are wrong! The tournament isn't over until I say it's over. Damien stands up, with Ravager and the others telling him to stand down. He already has died twice. If he dies a third time, it's permanent. Damien laughs. I know, but I have the advantage. I'm fully healed now. Mother Soul rises. It's too late! The demon is upon us! A green hand reaches out of the pit, with Hawk asking, "Don't you get it? That's why I joined the League of Shadows. This is what I've been training for. I have fought and trained specifically for what comes next. Only I can stop the demon Damien." And at that moment, the demon appears, stabbing its entire arm through Hawk's back with a loud shunk. With the demon finally coming to life, Mother Soul shouts that this started long before he was ever born. For centuries, I have watched as human society killed the earth, sky, and waters. Our home needed a true champion. I had hoped it'd be you, but Connor beats you, my great-great-grandson. Once my demon merges with Hawk's body, he will become indestructible. Your grandfather, my son, believed that merely cutting down the Earth's population would be enough to restore the world to its former self. But I knew that the whole world must burn first, purge itself of the disease that is afflicting it. Damien jumps on, punching the demon right in the face, asking, "If I beat your demon, will you finally shut up?" He jumps back, feeling his hand burning, asking how is he supposed to fight this thing if its skin burns everything that it touches. He then focuses his attacks with his legs, using the guarded parts to strike. But with a quick lunge, the demon grabs a hold of Damien's leg, slamming him into the ground. As the demon sprays its acid-like breath, it throws Damien across the arena and into the stone steps. Mother Soul then shouts to the demon to focus on Hawk, to kill anyone that stands in its way. Damien lays there, recovering from the acid-sprayed breath upon him. I failed. Again. The Lazarus demon is too strong. I couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat Hawk. I'm useless. But that's when a voice tells him, you can do this. Damien turns to see the spirit of Alfred again, the one that he sees and no one else sees. I'm sorry, but I can't. Alfred steps through the fire asking, do you remember what your father's first steps in becoming Batman were? His parents' death. He made a vow to them. Then what? As if living through Bruce's history, Damien says that his father returned home and he had a plan. He thought that the skills that he had learned to fight Gotham's crime was enough, but Bruce was wrong. He came home hurt, unsure of his mission, and he felt that he had failed the vow that he had made to his parents, that he couldn't make Gotham's dark side fear him. And then a bat came to him. His father knew then what he needed, a symbol to strike fear. Alfred says that the bat was merely the inspiration. It was not the first step. Damien asks, what are you prattling on about? What was his... The bell. He rang the bell. You came and you helped him. My father's first step in becoming Batman was asking for help. So Damien rings that mental bell. He picks himself up, taking the blood from his mouth and drawing war paint on himself. He stands over the burning debris, circling his eyes red and drawing an R on his chest, telling everyone that they have died enough on this island. He has seen them all battle. He knows them to be great fighters. And they have all come here to prove something to themselves, but they were tricked by Mother Soul. They can stop her and her demon. They have all fought each other, but now he asks them to fight together. Mother Soul is right. He can't win without their help. They can stop her and her demon. They have all fought each other, but now he asks for them to fight together. Mother Soul was right. He can't win, not without their help. So what do they say? Shall they all get the hell off this island? Or what? With all the contestants rallying behind him, Damien gives orders, splitting up the group to let those who have died twice focus on the priest, while he and the others focus on the demon. Before running into battle, Damien looks back, telling Alfred, Thank you. And with no answer, Damien stops and smiles. Now with the extra help, Damien tells the others to take turns striking, as to not injure themselves from the acid. After several hits and withdraws, Respawn wraps his chains around the demon's neck, asking, Are my chains supposed to burn? I can't really do this alone. But Damien grabs onto the slack. We can do it. Its head is its weakness. And Flatline grabs on, telling him, So then, we take the head. Ravager picks it up, looking at both Flatline and Damien. Oh, stop flirting already and pull! As everyone begins to tug, Damien yells, "We do it together!" And with one final pull, there's a loud splack as the demon's head pops off like it's candy, spraying green blood everywhere. Hawk begins to wake up after his death, asking what even happened, and Ravager tells him to take it easy. The demon just ripped a hole in him. Mother Soul screams, asking, "Do you have any idea what you just did? Our world needed a champion to burn away the disease, so it could be healed and start again. What do you have to say for yourselves?" Damien pulls up his fist, scoffing, and Mother Soul's anger rises. "It's time that I taught the youngest demon a lesson." As Mother Soul breathes green fire all over Damien, he suddenly finds himself being transported somewhere out into the desert. He sees a small village off in the distance, and then a voice asks him, "Excuse me, young man. I am to be the Sultan's physician. This is my wife, Sora, and my mother, Soul. Can you direct me to where I can rest my horse and find water?" Damien stares at the young man, realizing that he has been flung through time. Ra's al Ghul? And that concludes Robin issues 6 through 9. Now, issue 10 is already out if you want to see Damien's time-traveling adventures. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and go check this out at your local comic book store yourself. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time.